Good morning. Hello. It's Thoughtful Thursday. It's a slower day, right? It's a Thoughtful Thursday. We're in the groove and motion of the Thoughtful Thursday. So, as you're joining on, welcome. We have quite a few new members who have joined over the past month, and I just want to say welcome to all of you. I'm so glad that you are here. And if you're joining from Joanna DeVoe's podcast, the Hippie Witch podcast, welcome. So glad to have you in this magical tribe. So, Thoughtful Thursday. Last night, I went in to do my weekly ritual. I have a bath night that I have a weekly ritual around. I've been doing this for a couple years now, that every week I create space one night out of the week to do my bath night. And I've been hearing very clearly that I'm actually going to need to start doing 2 bath nights, just because that is the space that I don't go on my computer, I don't get distracted, I sit in the bath for an hour and I just be. So it's a lot of being space as well. So last night I went into the bath, and sometimes it's funny. It's like I know that I'm going to go into the bath, and sometimes I distract myself at first. I'm like busy doing things. I'm lighting my mugwort. I'm preparing my my herbal blend, and as I'm doing all of this, I'm thinking in my head, Stephanie, just get to it. Like, you're distracting yourself. So I went, okay, fine. I'll go. I'm gonna get in the bath, and I'm really gonna just be. So I did. I got into the bath, and for the past few months, I've been doing a lot of work around my money honey, or my higher self hunk, which is what I like to call him. I got the money honey and money monster idea from Morgana Ray, but really focusing on creating that connection to self-love, which is what it's all about. And so last night I went, okay, I've been working with some women really closely, one-on-one, and we've been diving really deeply into their inner child. And I went, okay, it's been a while since I've actually worked on any of my inner children. It's time. I'm creating space for other people to heal their inner children. I need to go deep. And so, hello, Krista. So last night I called forth my inner child. And my 4-year-old came up, and my 4-year-old has a lot to do with the worthiness stuff. For the past probably more than a year now, I've been working on worthiness issues and finding my own magic, reclaiming my magic, finding my specialness. And as I've been working with this, a lot has been unfolding. So last night was finally, like, I got to go in and really, I went to a meditation the other night, and she was talking about how shadow work is really going into the basement and clearing out the boxes, seeing, if there's any gross, you just clear out the basement. So often it's all the things that we've just tucked away in there. And so I really went into this with that visualization of, is there any boxes in my basement that are ready to get unpacked? And there was this gem of a box, and my 4-year-old led me to this box. And as we were going through it, I realized that, of course, my 4-year-old is coming up right now because my daughter is 4, and I feel like I'm pushing a lot with her. And so I knew that there was some things going within me that I was pushing up against her 4-year-old self being authentic, and my 4-year-old self not being able to be authentic. So I went through, and I asked my 4-year-old, I always ask, what do you want? What do you need? And she was very sad. And I remember being 4 and just being incredibly sad. And my daughter often gets incredibly sad. And I went, I don't want to repeat this. I see this as a generational theme. We've been talking a lot about generational themes. which we will actually go into in the Discover Your Rhythm program. We're going to do this when we create rituals. We are going to create them, implementing and really seeing how to escape and heal the generational themes that happen naturally if we don't stop them. So I saw this clearly as a generational theme with my daughter and myself, my mother, my grandmother. I saw it go far, far back of this deep sadness that comes. And so I asked her, why are you sad? And she said, because I have nobody who will accept my love. Now, often when we work with inner children, they are looking for love. They are not being accepted, or they're not getting enough love or attention. But in my case, it was the opposite. I wanted to fill everybody around me up with love, and nobody would receive it. Nobody would accept it. And then I started babysitting when I was 9, and I started volunteering and working with kids, and I realized that children accept love. And it was like I was able to get this fulfillment in my inner child from working really closely with children. And I know a lot of women like me who longed to be mothers their entire life, who just couldn't wait to be mothers. And I have a feeling that there is this deep longing to give love. And in the people around us, our parents, big kids, I call adults big kids in my house because that's what they are. I don't actually feel like we need to separate adults from children, because most adults are still living out their little inner children. And I want my children to be very aware that just because you're an adult doesn't mean that you suddenly know any better or have all the answers, because I don't truly think that's true for me. But so I realized that the only way I ever felt as a 4-year-old that I could give love forever was to have kids. And that's when my desire started to be a mom. And that was the only way that I could think as a 4-year-old to solve my problem of being able to give love all the time, was to have my own children. And I see this in my daughter. She wants nothing more than to have babies. And I went, oh, it hit me. I went, oh my gosh. She is reliving what I wasn't able to do. And I realized that the only reason she wants babies is because babies accept your love. They can't do anything else but receive your love, because that's how they survive. And so seeing this insight truly gave me just this huge wave of recognition that I was actually going to pass on. I was going to pass the torch of this generational theme to her. And so last night, so I'm in the bath and I'm doing this healing work with my 4-year-old, and then all of a sudden that realization with Skyanne came to me, and I realized that I have been pushing away her love, and she woke up. At that exact moment, I went, and I had this huge release. Tears started pouring out of my eyes, and I hear, "Mommy," at that exact moment. And you bet your butt, I pulled that plug so fast. I wrapped myself in a towel and I said, "I am coming." And I literally ran to her. And I said, "I'm a little wet." And she goes, "That's okay. It'll warm me up." It was like she knew that I was in the bath. And she goes, "I'll be nice and warm because I know it's such warm water." And so I just scooped her up and I just held her. And it was like she was able to pour love into me. It wasn't me pouring love into her. It was her pouring love into me and me allowing myself to receive it. And I realized that this is what our children are here to do. They're here to crack our shells open so that we can receive love again. And it doesn't have to be our own children. It can be children, all children. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing, is actually cracking our hearts open, because we've had these life experiences that make us hard, and children are here to literally crack our hearts open so that we can remember what it's like to give and receive love in a way that is complete and that takes no judgment, no what ifs. You know what I mean? When we love our husbands or when we love our friends, there is this barrier there. We never know if there's something going to be there that we don't understand. Yes, emotional aha moments. It was so profound, and I felt like it just gave this whole unworthiness. It wasn't that I was unworthy to receive. That wasn't the issue, and that was the issue that I was focusing on for the past year and a half. But I felt unworthy to give. Whoa! Total flip of the mindset of what really was going on. And so last night, Skyanne, and I told her, I said, I'm so sorry that I've been pushing you away. And as she's like kind of falling asleep, I just said, please forgive me. Please forgive me for my heart being closed off. And during the bath, I actually asked the fairies to come in, and I could feel the fairies actually tapping on my heart to like crack it open. And then one fairy came in and flicked it, and it just like, all this hardness around my heart just shattered. And it was such a magical experience to get vulnerable and get insight into what was really going on. And I truly, and it's nothing other than I got out of the bath and I was laying there with Skyanne, and I said, I cannot believe that because I have committed to my weekly ritual of bath night, every single week, because of my rhythm, because I'm doing this Discover Your Rhythm program, I'm really realizing what an incredible blessing my rhythm truly is in all aspects of my life. It's not just that I have more space or more time, but it's the fact that I really stick to this weekly rhythm to heal, to be, to see what needs to get uncomfortable. It was so uncomfortable realizing that I had been pushing my daughter's love away. It was so incredibly uncomfortable. Oh, Krista's saying she's doing the fairy wiggle, jiggle, happy dance. As they're showing me, and her coworkers are laughing at her. I bet. So I want to give you encouragement that our shadow work, while it is very uncomfortable at some times, and while, I was actually like purging, I was like gagging during this time, and I went, please be gentle on me. I don't like the pain. Please be gentle. And it was like I just had to follow through with the motions, and then it was like, okay, that's it. You just had to follow through. And so realizing that while shadow work can often be so uncomfortable and cause us pain in the sense that we're not used to feeling, what happens after, what comes from it is far more. It's literally bliss. And yet so often we push away the goodness and we push away the shadow work because we go, it's too scary. I won't do it. And we're literally just building up more and more walls to what could be, to what could possibly be. And I know that this is gonna have some really profound transformation and work its way into my life in ways that I can't even imagine fathomable right now. But for right now, just that healing that happened last night between Skyanne and I. She woke up and if you remembered yesterday, she does this thing and she goes, eh! She makes this noise, kind of like the Dumb and Dumber noise that Jim Carrey does when she has a nightmare. And she did that this morning, and it lasted about 3 seconds. She started doing it, and I just scooped her up. And I said, I'm here, and I love you, and you can love me. And it was just so amazing to have that clarity of what I had been doing in the past unconsciously, of going, oh, don't wake me up like that, instead of just like scooping her up and like letting her be a baby, letting her just be herself, because she's so giving and so loving And yet, oftentimes, she can also be super feisty and like scratch your face off when she can't give you that love. And I came to such a realization that that is exactly how I am. When people push me away, I like, okay, fine. You don't want my love? We'll see what happens. And I'm getting so much clarity by just seeing all of the images, all of the memories. And what is amazing about doing healing work or shadow work is you do the shadow work and literally it's like gears. They all click, 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 all the way back through your entire life. And most likely, if you believe in things like past lives or at least generations, my work that I healed of realizing that nobody would accept the love that I was giving actually just clicked into healing generations behind me, generations in front of me. As I do more work with this and as I give and allow, and even doing this Facebook Live of allowing myself to give my love every morning to Facebook Live and allowing myself to give my love through my emails has helped in this whole healing process of really seeing what's possible. So I'm kind of on cloud 9 right now and just really feeling these effects from it. And while there might be more uncomfortable, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be more uncomfortableness that comes as we grow and as we stretch. And just like implementing new rituals or new habits, rituals for me are just intentional habits. As we're implementing new rituals, we're going to see that it's a little uncomfortable to get into like the groove of it, right? But once we get into the groove of it, oh my goodness, we can really dance and really move and we really have like a rhythm. At first we're like awkwardly dancing and we're off beat and and then all of a sudden as like we create these rituals, the rituals become practice. We practice and integrate what we're doing. We have these intentions and the flow happens, the rhythm happens, and we just start moving in a way that feels so connected. Spirit is literally able to come into us because we are now in motion. We have a rhythm, and it is not going to be my rhythm for you. It is going to be your rhythm for you. So through all of this, I'm just sitting here in absolute gratitude. It's funny, like I woke up this morning and before Facebook Live, I used to try to tell my husband these things, and which is just kind of funny. I used to try to explain to him the healing that I was doing and how it's going to affect everything. And he would just kind of, yeah, okay, all right. And so last night or this morning I woke up and I went, I am so grateful for Facebook Live that I get to just go and share this with somebody, with women who absolutely understand and can connect and create this amazing space for more healing. So, it's funny, I hear Skyanne in there hooting and hollering. So I'm going to let you all go. Thoughtful Thursday, what's on your mind? What needs to be created or cultivated in your own heart? Is there some shadow work that maybe has been lurking? If you need support with this, please reach out. It's probably one of my favorite things is to dive deep. And one of the women that I worked with described it as literally emptying her out and creating a void that was filled with the darkness and the shadows, and then filling her up with love. So this is what's possible, and this is what shadow work is supposed to be. It's not supposed to be this dark and scary thing that we, push off for our whole lives. Let's do the work so that we can heal and not perpetuate and give our children these generational themes to live with for their rest of their lives until they're ready to heal. So I'm going to let you go. Peace and blessings. Happy Thursday, and I will see you all tomorrow. Oh, and Discover Your Rhythm starts tomorrow. So if you want to be in the Discover Your Rhythm 3-month journey, we start tomorrow at 9 a.m. So after Facebook Live tomorrow, we'll have a little bit of time to gather everything that we need, and then we will start Discover Your Rhythm at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time tomorrow. So peace and blessings. I look forward to seeing you all for Fun Friday. Gather up your gratitudes and your fun moments to get ready to share. All right. Bye.